Donald Trump is pulling a classic Trumpian move here, and he's generating headlines by threatening to skip the next debates, the general election debates. That's interesting. President Trump has been discussing with his campaign advisors whether or not to participate in the general election debates in 2020. Two people close to the situation told the New York Times. According to the sources, Trump doesn't trust the Commission on Presidential Debates, the nonprofit organization that puts on the debates. Specifically, Trump is apprehensive of who will be chosen by the organization to moderate the debates, the Times reports. Trump's campaign reportedly declined to comment on what their plan was for the debates at a State of the Race campaign briefing in Arlington, Virginia. During the 2016 campaign, the president persistently complained about his debates with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, claiming that he was put at a disadvantage. There's a lot to say about this. First of all, just a question of, is he actually going to do it? Well, there's speculation that the reason he's saying he wants to do none is almost like a negotiation position where they will ultimately agree on just doing one debate instead of three. I don't know if he's capable of doing that like long-term thinking, that like chess move kind of thinking. I think it's very possible he actually doesn't want to do any debates. But will he actually skip them? I don't know, because it's tough for Trump to give up the opportunity to be in front of any camera anywhere. If there's one thing he loves in this world, it's being in front of adoring crowds and being in front of cameras. So I think he will probably end up doing the debates. But this is so interesting because I think there's a decent argument to be made that the fact that mainstream media does not like Trump helps him. I really do believe that, because it's possible for the media to be tough on Trump and hurt him in the process of being tough. But in order to do that, they would need to use good arguments against him. But, my perception of it is, and you guys know because I cover this all the time on the show, I think that mainstream media is tough on Trump in all the wrong ways, and it ends up helping him. Because then when he fires back and he screams like fake news and witch hunt and it's all a hoax, I think people are like, yeah, finally, somebody's standing up to these charlatan con men in the media, and we don't care that it comes from an imperfect source, Trump. And, I spoke about the Gallup poll earlier in the show. The Gallup tracking poll on the media, trust in media is at 41%, which in most polls is lower than Donald Trump right now. So the media is more disliked than Trump. But the even more shocking number is the number of people, the percentage of people that have a, quote, great deal of trust in the media, it's only 13%. 13. That's fewer people that have a great deal of trust in media than people who like Congress. And I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever met anybody in person who's like, oh yeah, Congress is great. Usually it's about 20, 21%, their approval rating. But so, it's funny because Trump, is complaining about it and says he might skip it, but, no, the fact that the media is massively biased against you in dumb ways helps you. It helps you. Because then when you fire back and you're indignant and you're mad, people are loving that. They're tuning in and they're like, yeah, go get him. So, and then the final point is, he's such an anomaly because he pretends like, I'm a tough macho man, bro. That's what I am. And then he does the most ridiculous biznitch shit. I mean, this is just weak. This is so weak. I don't think you're going to be fair. So who cares? Even if they're not fair, go after them. It's a debate. You can respond, and you'll get way more speaking time than the moderator will. So go after him. And usually he does it, but the fact that he's like, I don't know if I want to. And he did this in 2016 when he skipped one debate because Megyn Kelly was the moderator. And he was like, Megyn Kelly treats me so unfairly. I'm not going. And then he didn't go. And all of his supporters simultaneously were like, oh my God, he's such an alpha male. He's so macho. And everybody else in the world was like, that's super weak. That's the weakest thing I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't get any weaker than that. Tapping out because you think you're going to get asked some tough questions? What is that? So he has a weird way of spinning all of his massive flaws into perceived positives among his group of supporters who will never abandon him. But I find that one particularly funny because it's so obvious that it's weak and not strong, but they portray it as strong and they think it's strong, which is just beyond silly.